Hi peeps, welcome back to my channel. Today I am back after like 2 weeks. I'm so inconsistent lately, but thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you guys stick with me throughout the whole video before leaving any comments, because I may mention something that might be a little bit triggering in this video. But before I dive into the video, if you're interested in contents like personal development, mental hygiene, or just a bunch of random videos like this, feel free to hit subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. Today, I want to discuss about beauty standards and beauty trends. Of course, I couldn't speak for every different culture because I believe that people from different cultures, we have different beauty standards and beauty trends. Even if we might somewhat look the same, have the same skin tone, and we are probably from the same ethnicity, we might still have different beauty standards and so-called beauty trends because different culture might affect our perception on beauty. So please keep that in mind. I'm only going to speak from my perspective and my take on beauty standards and beauty trends. I know this might make me sound a little bit like a hypocrite, but I do want to say that I really enjoy researching about beauty standard, beauty trends, what's going on in the world now, what is in these days, what procedure are there available out there. I love keeping in tune with things like that. Although I personally had never had any work done except for braces, I just really like to study about things like that, why people would want to do certain things. So keep that in mind. I come from a point of view, from a perspective, which I am okay with people having work done. I am okay with people having cosmetic surgery done. It is fine as long as it makes you feel more confident about yourself. What is the difference between beauty standard and beauty trends? I personally think that there's not much of a difference between these two, except that beauty trend is something that comes and goes pretty quickly. Beauty standard is more like something that lasts longer. For example, the difference between fashion and style. Fashion is something that comes and goes. It's a trend. Balenciaga Triple S used to be a thing. That was a trend. Style-wise is something that is staple. It's something that gives you more identity. What do you prefer wearing? Are you sort of like a grungy person, or you prefer dressing cutely? That is style, okay? So there's a difference between style and fashion, just like in beauty standard and beauty trends. Trends come and go. Standards pretty much stay the same. If this is not clear enough, I'm gonna give you an example. Beauty standard might be something like Audrey Hepburn, for example. If you look at her, regardless of how many years had gone by, you still find her really attractive. You still find her beautiful. Even at her old age, she's still so beautiful. And that is beauty standard to some people. You know, to some people, she might be the standard for beauty, like what determines beauty. Although we shouldn't be comparing ourselves to others, but this is just an example, okay? And trend is more like, take a look at Bella Hadid, for example. I love Bella Hadid because she looks so beautiful, but the reason why I'm using her as an example is because she sort of started the whole ponytail facelift movement. It's not really a thing, I just made that up. Ever since she had this fox eye going on, I had seen so many younger girls on social media or celebrities, other celebrities, getting the same work done as well. It's like everyone wants to have that fox eye facelift. This look might not be a thing 10 years down the road. People might want to have droopy eyes later on, or different sort of beauty procedures going on out there. Same goes to hip dip, which is crazy. I don't think hip dip is a flaw, but these days a lot of people assume that hip dip is a flaw. So a lot of people want to fix their so-called their hip dip, which is absurd. It's like all the well-known attractive people have no hip dips, so it's somewhat became a trend. They're somewhat the trendsetters, right? People benefit from your insecurities, especially the beauty industry. Just a second. While editing this video, I just recall a conversation that I had with a friend a couple of days ago. She sent me these pictures of girls getting surgery done just so that they can have larger ears. Apparently, it's a trend in China now because it seems like if you have wider ears or larger ears, your face is gonna appear smaller. The fact that people are willing to go through extreme lengths just to make their face appear smaller is I don't know, guys, like it just sounds kind of crazy to me in my opinion. So now I had cleared that out, I want to talk about beauty standards. I made a video previously talking about how to not be ugly. Watch the video first before you leave any comments. I personally think that appearance is important to a certain extent. As much as you want to be ignorant and in denial, human beings, we tend to judge people based on their looks first, whether you want it or not. This is why a lot of so-called good-looking criminals get away with their crimes. This is just how human minds are wired, how the human brain is wired. Sometimes people can just be really blinded and really shallow, especially if you're not very self-aware. If you're not educated enough in that aspect, you might end up being the victim of one of these attractive people. They might not even be a celebrity, they might just be the cute guy in your class. I'm not here to say that all good-looking people are trashy people. I'm just saying that you shouldn't be judging someone based on their appearance before actually getting to know them. This sounds a little bit contradicting. As much as we shouldn't be judging others just based on their looks, it's human nature on our first instinct to judge the people based on their looks. This is why it is really important for you to carry yourself in a way that you yourself feel comfortable about yourself. To a certain extent, you still have to keep up with beauty standards. Like, why? If you want to survive in the society, I still think that it's really important for us to look decent. I know that this sounds so controversial. Some people are probably gonna attack me. So how are you supposed to love yourself? Sounds cliche. How are you gonna appreciate your own appearance, but at the same time fit into so-called beauty standard? I'm gonna share my take on this, so just take whatever you can out of what I have to share and ignore whatever that you disagree with. We are all different. You are allowed to have your own choice and opinion. First thing first, I do believe that mental health is the most important thing. Nothing else is more important than your mental health. So regardless of how beautiful, how attractive you look, if you have a really bad mental state, you are never ever going to be able to appreciate your own beauty. You'll never ever be able to see your own worth. It's not just appearance. It runs deeper than that. A lot of guys, straight guys, I'm not here to attack anyone, but a lot of guys tend to think that women wants to look beautiful because we want to attract the opposite gender. What if we're not straight? I think that is a really huge misconception, although I do believe that there is a percentage of women who wants to look attractive to attract the opposite gender. It's okay if you personally think that that's something that you want to do. It's fine, it's up to you. It's just that I think that as a woman, as a girl, a lot of us are probably comparing ourselves to other women. Is that you? Are you guilty of that? This is the reason why you can never ever feel that you're beautiful enough, that you're good enough, because you're constantly comparing yourself to others. The thing about this is the beauty industry is $1 billion industry. They feed on your insecurities. So the longer you stay on social media, comparing yourself to all these beautiful, beautiful celebrities, influencers, or maybe sometimes people around you, the more insecure you're gonna feel, the more inadequate you're gonna feel. And of course, what are you gonna do in the end? Get some work done, and that's how the beauty industry benefit from you. So how are we supposed to work around it? Like, I want to look attractive, I want to look beautiful, but in a way I don't want to affect my mental health. And what is even beauty standard? How am I supposed to be satisfied with myself without comparing myself to all these beautiful girls? In the end of the day, you gotta understand that beauty standards will always be there. It's a thing unless you somewhat manage to escape the whole capitalism society and then you, for some reason, migrate into the forest and live in a place where there's nobody at all. Unless you're able to do that, I think that in this society, regardless of where we are or what we do, beauty standard will always exist. It's just that they appear in different forms. Regardless of where you go, there will always be different types of beauty standard. So the moment you realize that, it's like an eye-opener, because sometimes you try really hard to fit into a certain mold, but the moment you look at cultures that are different from you, you will start to realize that people tend to appreciate different things. So beauty is subjective. This is just my opinion. I think that if you want to be attractive, ask yourself, is it worth it? Why are you doing this to yourself? Like, why do you have to fit into the beauty standard that you set for yourself, not based on what society want from you? Sometimes we are too focused externally. We never realize that people never actually expect that from us. It's just we expect ourselves to look a certain way. You know, like sometimes when I look at my friends, I think they're so beautiful, they're so attractive, but they don't seem to look at themselves that way. So I think that it's because in their mind, they have their own perception of beauty standard that they had not met. So you gotta ask yourself, what is it that you want to change about yourself? What is it that you want to improve about yourself? Is it attainable? And is it worth it? And if it's something that's attainable and you think it's worth the time, worth the investment and everything, by all means, do it. If it's not something that you really bother about, like it's not something that you really want to, maybe it's time to take a break from it. Maybe it's time to just let it go, because what's the point? What's the point trying to look a certain way and still feel shitty about yourself? The whole point of wanting to be attractive is because you want to be confident out there. You want to be able to carry yourself in a way that you are proud of yourself. So I think that if you completely change the way that you look, if you change your whole appearance with surgery, with work done, extreme makeover, honestly, I don't know. I just feel like this sounds really contradicting, because on one hand, I would like to mention that all human beings are beautiful in their own way, which is true, because your natural features might be very different from someone else's, and you are able to look attractive in your own way. So it doesn't make any sense, right? It's weird if everyone looks the same. But on the other hand, I will also like to address that beauty standard will never ever go away. It's biological. Animals do that too. They usually mate with other animals that look more attractive. But us humans, we have more self-awareness, so at least we are able to question ourselves. Why do I want to look that way? Why do I want to confront to this beauty standard? Is it something that is able to benefit me in a long run? Is it something that I really want? Is it something that could enhance my confidence? But yeah, I do think that if you spend a huge amount of time being too invested on your appearance, it's a sign that you are being too hard on yourself. Everyone has very different perception when it comes to beauty. Like I mentioned earlier, you might be beautiful in this culture, in this community, but to different people from different ethnicities, you might not look attractive to them. They might have a different perception of beauty. I think that it is more important for you to set your own beauty standard. It's more important for you to analyze and question yourself. What are your perceptions of beauty? And how are you able to enhance yourself to look the way that you want instead of what everyone else wants? So now it comes to trend. This is something that is more problematic, because I personally think that beauty standard, it's easy for us to have a certain standard that we want to achieve, but trends are more like in the spur of moment. You get that feeling that you want to change something about yourself just because it's in trend these days. For example, when I was younger, everyone think that having a thigh gap is the thing. It's just like these days, everyone wants to have big titties, tiny waist, and big butt, and it's a trend. Trust me, it's a trend. Like the hip dip thingy, it's a trend. As years goes on, the skinny trend might come back again, so it's always on and off. People are constantly following different beauty trends, just like the whole huge lips thingy going on, the Russian doll lips, I believe that's what it's called. And in Asian countries, we tend to want Vface, like really narrow jaw and tiny face. I personally kind of sometimes fall into that as well. I tend to think that I have really white face and I hate how I look like.
Just a quick pause. I would like to address that the reason why I have chubby cheeks is because I am still trying my best to recover from bulimia. I have been dealing with it for more than 10 years now. I just want to put this out because I just want to show the consequences of having an eating disorder. It's seriously life-threatening, and yeah, it might leave semi-permanent changes to your facial structure.
So I always back then when I was younger Photoshop my face just so that I can have like a narrower cheeks. But now when I look at it, I just think that it's absurd because it makes all of us look the same. Where's your identity? Everyone looks the same. It's kind of creepy. It's like we're all androids and everyone looks fake. So I just think that that's crazy because beauty trends come and go. Like maybe you did a major surgery just to fit into what's in trend these days. 10 years down the road, you might regret getting that procedure done because your natural features might be in trend. So how? What are you gonna do? You can't reverse the procedure, you can't reverse anything at all. Unless it's your body, maybe you can gain some weight if being curvy is a thing now, and losing weight if being skinny is a thing. But I still think it's really unhealthy to keep up with trends. They always come and go. It's just crazy. It's better if you stick to your own beauty standard. It's better if you focus on what you personally like instead of what everyone else are doing. I think it's harder if you are younger because I had been through my younger days and I do really understand that urge of wanting to be the next it girl. You just want to be attractive, you just want to be the girl. At least for me. What is the point putting yourself in that place if it doesn't make you feel good? Because trust me, regardless of how many external validation you can get from outsiders, if you don't feel good about yourself, if you still feel like you are lacking something, you will never ever reach that point where you feel like you are confident enough, where you feel like you are good enough, because you will never ever be enough. There will always be someone out there who's gonna be more prettier than you, younger than you, attractive than you, smarter than you, richer than you, wealthier than you, have a better career than you, more famous than you. There's always gonna be someone better than you out there. If you want to compare yourself this way, it's just really unfair to yourself. Why are you doing this to yourself? It's really unfair. Why are you being a bully to yourself? People might just enjoy watching your downfall, you know? Like, there are a lot of people who enjoy looking at others' downfall. You might never know. They might be hidden among one of your friends. So ask yourself, like, is it worth it doing all these things? Is it something that you really want before following any trends or before falling into the trap of insecurity just because of how others look? Question yourself. You gotta be first comfortable with your own skin. So the conclusion of this video is basically do whatever you want as long as it makes you feel good about yourself. But before you get anything done, before you work on anything, always question yourself, what is the reason that you want to do something? Is it worth it? Are you gonna risk your mental health while doing it? Is it worth the investment? Is it something that you still want 10 years down the road? Question yourself before getting anything done at all. And I think that you are still able to be attractive naturally by just taking care of yourself. By just waking up early, going to bed early, eating more healthy food, working out, take care of your body, your skin. All these things, all these basic things are able to help you enhance your natural features. The moment that you learn how to appreciate your natural features, you will start to realize that all these beauty standards, beauty trends out there is not important because you are able to set your own beauty standard, your own beauty goals for yourself based on your own body because you are learning more about yourself. Okay? I hope this really makes sense. I know it's literally everywhere. All my points are almost contradicting because I want to mention that beauty is important. We do care about beauty. We do care about appearance. We are visual creatures. But on the other hand, I want to address that mental health is important. You know, you don't really have to care about what others think about you. But eventually, like I say, it's still important to take care of yourself inside out. You know, if you look sloppy and you don't shower, you don't at least make yourself look presentable, even if you're all alone, you're not gonna feel good. Trust me, you're not gonna feel good about yourself. Because when you pass by the mirror with all that messy hair, you're probably gonna feel shitty about yourself. You still got to impress yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. And of course, beauty trend, if it's your thing, by all means go for it. It's just that I personally think that it's absurd. Like, it just makes young girls feel insecure about themselves, and I just think that it's so sad because there's so many beautiful girls out there changing their appearance so drastically that everyone kind of looks the same these days. As an artist, I really love looking at people's facial features, like different facial features, because we're just so different in so many ways. But these days I just feel like a lot of people look the same. No offense. I kind of felt insecure about myself at one point. I questioned myself, like I really want to get certain work done. I really want to enhance my facial features because I'm really insecure about certain things. But as time goes on, I realized that if I change those traits about myself, those features, I'm gonna look like everyone else, as in people that I find attractive. I'm gonna look like them, and what makes me different compared to these people? I might be more beautiful, so-called beautiful in my own perspective, but what's different about me compared to them? We're like all the same, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that concludes my video for today. It's a lot of rambling, it's a lot of contradicting points, a little bit of hypocrite here and there. I do admit that, because I'm still on my way to figure out what I truly like about myself, how I want to work on myself, how I want to appreciate myself more. It's a journey, I believe. But I think that self-worth, self-value, mental health is really important when it comes to this journey. Some of you might disagree with me. Some of you might think that I'm vain for wanting to look better, for wanting to invest on myself. It's fine. Everyone have different opinions. Feel free to disagree with me. It's just that I personally think that everyone wants different things in this world. So for some reason, if you feel like this is agreeable, take whatever you can out of this video. But if you disagree with me, let me know what's your take on beauty standards. What are your beauty standards, or what are your ethnicity, culture's beauty standards? Share them with me, because I would love to learn more about others. And yeah, that's it for me for today. I really hope that you enjoy watching, and I really hope that you enjoy listening to me ramble this much. I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for your time. Take care. Bye.